Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello if you're new. So today's video is going to be a review of Too Hot to Handle 3. So following on from the last episode, we know that a devious plot has been put in motion by Francesca and Haley. We know they've kissed. We know there's going to be a rule break reveal. We know there's going to be a rule break fine. We learn very quickly on in the episode that what they plan to do is disrupt the house. They're not going to own up to it, and they want people to be pointing fingers, arguments, somebody else to take the fall. Just drama, that's what they want. And I was definitely here for this drama, but I think I was definitely apprehensive about the execution of this plan. I thought it's either going to go well and there's going to be lots of drama that spills onto another episode or two, or the plan is going to foil. I think Haley and Francesca were definitely very confident about their plan. They were definitely walking around very smug, like they were criminal masterminds. First stage of their plan was denial. If the fingers were ever pointed at them, they were going to deny. And then I guess the second stage is, the best way to throw the scent off yourself is to make a scapegoat to point fingers at somebody else. And the perfect opportunity for that came when Sharron woke up in the middle of the night, woke up Rhonda, took her to the bathroom. Obviously, the other contestants didn't see it, but we know that Sharron propositioned Rhonda for a steamy shower. He was saying how he was horny, he wants to get it on. Rhonda resists, they go back to bed, but obviously it looks suspicious to all of the other contestants that saw them. When that happened and I saw that other people could see them sneaking off to the bathroom and looking very suspicious, I was like, okay, this could be, I was kind of thinking in my devious mind, if I was in Haley and Francesca's shoes, this could be the perfect opportunity to pin the kiss on them. It's a compromising position that they are in. It's suspicious. Sharron is a known horny guy. If I was to blame then, surely it would be easier to convince the house that it was them instead of me as a suspect. And sure enough, we see Haley and Francesca discussing on the bed about pointing the fingers to Sharron and Rhonda. So throughout the episode, Haley and Francesca are hyping themselves up for this reveal. They know that it's coming and they're just kind of like, oh, we're going to keep it cool. We're going to act shook. We're going to act so well. And when I saw the rehearsals, I knew the girls were going to be in trouble. Haley, solid. She's a solid actress. She is a seasoned liar. But Francesca, her face tells it ill. She's not a good actress. Even in the rehearsals, I could see if anyone is going to foil the plan, it's definitely going to be Francesca. So obviously, they get the call to come round to the living room or whatever it is, the foyer or whatever it's called. The place where the tea gets spilt when there's a fine. And, everyone's like, oh, what's going on? Who did what? What is going on? And Lana reveals there has been a rule break and there is a £3,000 fine. Obviously, the last kiss was worth £3,000, so people can assume that somebody kissed. Now, obviously right on cue, Lana and Haley are making a lot of noise like, huh? What the hell is going on? And I was just like, girls, this is rookie moves. You can't be the ones making the most noise. Now, if I was Francesca, seeing as I was responsible for the last deduction, I probably would have said, well, it definitely wasn't me this time. Maybe something like that, if anything. But I wouldn't have been so quick to make these big, elaborate gasps and noises, because that, to me, immediately seemed suspicious. And I think a lot of people were looking at them like, why are they making so much noise? Them girls look dodgy as hell. Kels, the accountant, is obviously stressed because he's just like, for fuck's sake, another holiday down the drain. I really feel for my man, the accountant, because I feel like if I was in the show, that would be in my role. And I think, 2 days in a row, $3,000 on the trot, I would have been stressed. I would have been heated. Fingers are being pointed. Chloe and David had a date. People are saying, well, did you kiss? You had something with a strawberry. Did your lips touch? Chloe and David are saying, nah, our lips didn't touch. And then, of course, Haley goes for Rhonda and Shalom. And again, I'm not really sure why Haley was the one coming out with all of these accusations, because to everyone's knowledge, Haley is single. Haley hasn't really told anyone that she's into girls, and most of the people there are hetero-leaning, that have a hetero-leaning mindset. So they're just automatically thinking, what boy and girl kiss? So already there's no need for you to be so vocal, because you wouldn't be a number one suspect. Her being so vocal blew her cover, and I think that's when Matthew got suspicious. Obviously, Matthew has a big issue with Francesca and Haley, and he often calls Francesca a big manipulator and Haley is her puppet. And what is going on now? The mechanics, Francesca is quiet, Haley is going off in a situation where we are not really sure why she's even speaking, because to everyone's knowledge, she hasn't even got a thing going on. So Matthew was probably thinking, okay, when Haley pipes up, it's usually to defend her master, Francesca. So therefore, it was probably them involved. And that is when their plan was probably foiled, because of the poor performances from Haley and Francesca. And I am disappointed, because I love a really good sneaky bitch storyline, but they really did an injustice to all of the other sneaky bitches out there. They did not represent for us sneaky bitches. You know, the execution of, I was here for the pettiness, but the execution was just a sorry sight. Did anyone think that their performance was convincing, or, was everyone just like, yeah, they're definitely going to get found out? Obviously, the fingers were pointed at Sharron and Rhonda. Sharron gets really defensive, very defensive. And to be fair, that can usually work in your favor if somebody is getting really defensive. But he was just wild. He was like, I don't like being accused. I didn't come here for love. I didn't come here for this. And Rhonda's just in the back like, what the hell is going on? You didn't come here for love? Like, why? What? You're not even saying things that are relevant to the accusations. Like, I'm so confused right now. But yeah, I just kind of feel like Sharron is extremely sexually frustrated, and it's really getting to him not being able to let off some sort of release. And then to top it all off, the masterminds decide to leave early before there has been a conclusion. If that does not look suspicious, that is just obviously suspicious. After that, of course, we know it's never going to be left alone. I think if I was a contestant in the house, I would want to know who it was. I'd want to know who the culprit is. So then the next day, Matthew has an axe to grind. He is not letting things go. He's obviously trying to distract himself from his sexual urges. So he decides he wants to play detective today, and he is narrowing down on his suspects. And even though he says, he can't rule out Sharron and Rhonda as suspects, it's pretty clear that he thinks that the culprits are Haley and Francesca. Now, he makes this meeting, he puts them all together in a room, and he asked everyone again, did you guys kiss? He asked Haley, did you guys kiss? She defends herself. And you know what, Haley, like I said, Haley's a good actress. It was believable. It was defensive. And I thought maybe they were going to go another day, go another episode, evading capture for their crimes. But then Matthew is like, okay, let's settle this. I'm going to ask Lana. And I was like, what? And bitch, Matthew asked questions to Lana, and Lana basically answered the questions. I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I'm sorry. I don't agree with Lana exposing secrets like this. I feel like it takes the magic and it takes the suspense, because when he started asking questions and it was narrowing down, you knew obviously they were going to get caught. They were going to get caught red-handed. I think I would have preferred if it was a thing where Matthew was just hashing it out of them every day until they finally admitted it. I think Lana now knowing the answers to everything, to all of their secrets, to all of their disagreements, is a bit cheeky. I think it definitely takes the magic out of rivalries and arguments. But then also at the same time, now I'm thinking, well, Francesca could have confirmed that it was Harry who kissed her by asking Lana. I think that could definitely be confirmed now and clear her name of that whole dispute. But yeah, I personally am not here for the Lana reveals. I think, like I said, it takes the magic out of, you know, a good old human disagreement. And of course, again, it probably could have been used at a later date, a later reveal. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a cop-out, to be honest. So obviously, it all gets narrowed down and they basically get caught red-handed. Lana confirms that it was Hayley and Francesca who kissed after they both, like, bold-faced denied it. And obviously, they leave the room. They're like, oh, you know, we don't care. Hayley is just like, you know, I'm happy that they know. I'm happy they don't like me because I don't like them anyway. And I think Hayley is definitely being dead serious. But she knows it's a bit awkward. And it's always a bit awkward when you are the odd ones out. When, you know, when you are the minority, when you are the odd ones out. So when you are the minority and you are the odd ones out, I personally feel like they should have just admitted it, because I think it's definitely a thing where they should have just admitted it. Obviously, when they run off together, they were kind of thinking, well, what should we say? Should we just lie and say we were embarrassed, we didn't want to say because, you know, we're both girls, like play on that? And I'm just thinking, you fucking cop out. If you were going to be evil bitches, you need to stand in that evil bitch light. None of this cop out sympathy vote shit. That's for lame hoes. Can't respect that. If they were going to be on that cop out shit, then they should have just confessed to the crime when it was narrowing in on them before Lana said anything. Obviously, when they were asking Lana, is it Hayley and Francesca? You know, Francesca was like, Lana, don't. And I think it probably would have been interesting if Lana said that she can't reveal it, or that it is inconclusive or negative, if she had lied. Now that would have been interesting with the AI inclusion. I think the storyline was definitely cute, but I think the resolution definitely could have been a bit better. I feel like I said, I think Lana definitely sucked the fun out of it. It's definitely going to be awkward, because even though I like the storyline, I'm here for the pettiness. If I was the other contestants, like, it's beef every day, especially if I was Rhonda and Sharron. Like, how dare you try and pin a money loss on me? Like, you actually tried to frame me, like legit tried to frame me. So if I was Rhonda, if I was Ron, it's beef every day. And also if I was Kels, we would be on beef as well, because I'm the accountant. I've been here on my best behavior and you want to kiss for some petty shit. We are on beef too. So yeah, I feel like they definitely haven't done any favors for themselves, especially with the way that it was revealed, because it's very clear now that it wasn't on some, okay, we were attracted to each other, so we kissed. The way that it was revealed, the way that they reacted to the reveal, makes it very clear to the contestants that they did this out of spite. But yeah, I guess it's going to be interesting to see how the relations are now. Obviously, there was already animosity there. So now there's definitely going to be even more animosity between them, even more drama. So I think that's definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And I think it'd be interesting to see the reactions from Rhonda and Shalom. Not Shalom. And I think it's going to be interesting to see the reactions from Sharron and Rhonda in the upcoming episodes, because they are both quite vocal. Rhonda has checked Hayley once or twice. She's definitely going to have to get checked once or twice. I can only imagine that Rhonda is going to check her again. Other storylines in this episode where Chloe calls it quits with David. I could already tell that Chloe was not into David. She was definitely forcing it. The chemistry just was not there. Friendship, yes, but the chemistry was not there. I think even David knew that there was no chemistry, but he was just trying to force it, because I feel like David is kind of desperate. I think he is trying to build on a connection so he can, in the hopes that they're going to have a tryst or something, a little fun moment that he can have in his memory book. He takes rejection fairly well, but in the confessional, he's just basically like, another one bites the dust, it's okay, like, I'm going to move on, I'm going to find somebody else. And I'm just like, David, rest. It's really not that deep. I feel like he's got FOMO going on. But yeah, it's just not that deep. I just feel like David should rest, enjoy his holiday. He's on a nice island. you know? Chloe, like I said, she has a thing for Harry. It's very clear that she has a thing for Harry. And we might see that play out. I personally would not like to see it because we know who Harry is now. Harry has shown his true colours. I like him as a villain, but as, you know, potential partner material, hell no. Another relationship drama that we see is what I'm extremely disappointed about is Francesca basically having another go at things with Harry. Obviously, they had a little trust challenge going on. They were partnered up. He gave a half-assed apology. She accepted it. They had another heart-to-heart, and it seems like they're basically back on. And I just want Francesca to want better for herself. I feel like if you are going to forgive her and accept an apology from Harry, this apology needs to be public. You need to now walk with him to every single person that he lied on your name about, for him to now tell that person the truth. That is the only way I would even accept an apology, let alone forgive. I personally would not forgive Harry for what he did, because it was just very insidious behavior going on. This whole campaign that he literally had against her. For what reason? She literally did nothing wrong. And, you know, despite, you know, he's got a good personality, but past that, he doesn't really offer much in terms of partner material. I'm thinking maybe it's the accent, you know. But yeah, Francesca, I'm definitely going to need you to do better. Another relationship drama that we see is between Sharron and Rhonda. Obviously, you know, episode 1 and 2, they were looking like a promising couples, but there's been numerous bumps in their relationship road. Now, Sharron has made it known from the very beginning that he is not usually one to commit. He's taking things slow. He doesn't really know how he feels about Rhonda yet. He's been hurt in the past, so she shouldn't really expect anything from him. Now, he has been honest about that, but I just feel like Rhonda, I don't know, has a whole different idea of what their relationship was, because in terms of what we have seen from Sharron, it's just basically him talking about how there's so much sexual chemistry between him. He wants to sleep with her so bad, like he's craving her so bad, but nothing of substance. Not, you know, she's got a great personality. We vibe on a level where I can see her in my future. It's all very superficial. And I think they definitely have sexual chemistry, but I'm not sure if they have anything more than that. And I'm really unsure of why Rhonda seems to be so emotionally invested in him. She was getting emotional a lot this episode. She was crying a lot this episode. So you think that they had been going out for a long time, and it's just kind of like, I'm not really sure if I can like sympathize with her, because I'm just like, what are you doing, babe? Like, he literally told you what it is. So if you are now expecting more than what he told you, that is on you. She's talking about she wants to find somebody new, and I'm just kind of confused. Like, is this a celibacy show or is this like a love show? Because I'm not really sure if finding a partner is compulsory. I just feel like Rhonda needs to remember that she's a bad bitch, top up her tan, and don't pay nobody no mind. I don't know why she's stressing out over Sharron of all people. Yeah, he's got a great personality, but as a candidate, as a partner, again, not really much to offer. But yeah, what do you think it is? Do you think like Rhonda is in love with Sharron? She really cares about Sharron? Do you feel like this is, you know, this is a bit of a one-sided relationship? Rhonda is definitely more into Sharron than Sharron is into her? Or do you feel like this is a relationship that has potential and that Rhonda should just stick it out? What do you guys think? Of course, we've got our new quote-unquote grenade coming into the series, which is Bryce. And the first thing I thought about Bryce when he came on screen was, whose dad is this? And how did he get on the show? He fully looks like a dad. Fully. And then he just kept talking about how like he has like sex every day. He's waking up to a new woman. I'm just like, okay, interesting. But instantly looking at him, I was just kind of like, well, who is going to go for him? A lot of these girls are very young. I'm thinking maybe if, you know, they like a mature daddy type of look, you know. And sure enough, in the little promo, we see him kissing somebody. I think maybe it was Haley he was kissing, I think. So he's had some success. When he came in, he didn't know the rules. And when they told him to him, he was like, dang. But then he was like, rules are meant to be broken. And at this point, before I saw the promo of him kissing somebody, I'm like, who the hell is breaking the rules for you of all people? But yeah, definitely daddy vibes. Even his personality gives me the dad who is, you know, got that money and is looking for a young sugar baby. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Bryce, the new guy? So yeah, that's pretty much the roundup. Like I said in my prior podcast, how I'm going to be dishing out these podcasts is I'm going to be watching an episode, recording the podcast, editing it, uploading, and then repeat. So I'd strongly suggest subscribing if you want to keep up with my commentary, as well as pressing the notification bell so you know as soon as the review drops. Do let me know what you thought about this episode. What did you think of Haley and Francesca's plot? Do you think it was botched from the beginning? Do you think it had potential? What do you guys think of Rhonda and Sharron? Do you feel like Rhonda needs to cut her losses and either just be single or look somewhere else? If she does look somewhere else, I hope it's not back to David. But yeah, you might as well subscribe. Till next time, guys. But yeah, you might as well subscribe. Till next time, guys. Bye.